All right, we are finally back. Sorry about that, people. Um, yeah, so the new starters here: UCF Cam Fancher, UTEP's Boise named Boise State transfer Malachi Nelson as their starter, former 5-star out of USC. There, transferred to Boise State last year, lost the competition to Maddox Madsen. Now at UTEP, so the minors should be. Um, Pretty good this year, I think. Decent at least with the losses that they had in the transfer portal and whatnot. SEC moving to a 9-game conference schedule, so that is something that the likes of the Big Ten, Big 12 have wanted the SEC to go to for a while. And finally getting their wish next season in 2026, the first year that they will do that. Every team that will play every other team in the conference um, on a rotating schedule, 2-year schedule, and they will play everyone once home, once away every 4 years. So yeah, UFL news, bunch of UFL to NFL signings. Steelers, they signed Panthers defensive end Kenny Willekes. The Texans actually had half a sack last night as well. That was pretty solid. Texans signed defenders wide receiver Cornell Powell. The Bills, they signed Battlehawks running back Jarvian Howard. Dolphins, they signed Showboats corner Cam Dantzler. Cardinals signed Battlehawks offensive lineman Donovan West. The Browns, they signed a couple guys, Roughnecks linebacker Marvin Moody, Renegades linebacker Charlie Thomas III. The Battlehawks have cut quarterback Max Duggan. He is going to pursue other opportunities. So, yeah, so new quarterback in St. Louis next year. Stallions re-signing a bunch of key players from this season. Center Cole Schneider, linebacker DeMarquise Gates, wide receiver Marlon Williams, defensive end Steve Linton, quarterback Jamar Smith, of course, and corner Neville Clark, all re-signed with the Birmingham Stallions. And oh, by the way, Birmingham is not going anywhere. Their fans came together, bought some season tickets, and the Birmingham Stallions will return in 2026. We had a bunch of trades go down this week, getting down to that 53-man cut day here on Tuesday. And so we have a bunch of trades that have went down. Jets got a couple defensive tackles. They have traded. They got defense tackle Jawan Briggs and a 2026 7th-round pick from the Cleveland Browns for a 2026 6th-round pick. The Jets also getting defense tackle Harrison Phillips and a 2027 7th-round pick from the Vikings for a 2026 6th-round pick and a 2027 6th-round pick. Vikings paying $3.7 million of Phillips' $7.4 million salary there. Third trade was Saints getting wide receiver Devon Vele for 2026 fourth rounder and a 2027 seventh rounder from the Broncos. This was the worst one. I thought the Saints got absolutely fleeced. Vele, a sixth round pick by the Broncos last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember. But it just didn't make sense. Fourth rounder was a lot, I think, for Vele. Even though, despite his age and whatnot, I think that's way too much for Devon Vele there. The Jets trades, I liked that. Harrison Phillips has been a good presence throughout his career. Jawan Briggs, a young player, might as well take a shot on him, and Jets needed interior D-line help there. 49ers, they got wide receiver help as well, dealing with a bunch of injuries to their wideout core. Sky Moore comes in from the Chiefs along with a 2027 seventh rounder. Chiefs get a 2027 sixth round pick there in return for Sky Moore. And the last trade, which went down today, 49ers also acquiring running back depth. Brian Robinson Jr. comes into San Francisco all the way from the East Coast, and the Washington Commanders. Commanders get a 2026 sixth round pick. They paid $1.25 million of his salary to boot there for Brian Robinson. General news, the Colts, they have named Daniel Jones their starting quarterback. So Joe Flacco, starter in Cleveland now. Daniel Jones, the starter in Indy, wins the battle against 2023 number 4 overall selection, Anthony Richardson Sr. So that is a big-time move for Daniel Jones and the Colts, and we'll see how much if Danny Dimes can play the whole season or not. But I don't know. I think it's a good move for the Colts. I think Daniel Jones will solidify this Colts offense a lot better than Anthony Richardson will, and I think it elevates. If you have any Colts players in fantasy that you already drafted or in Dynasty League, I think their status is now elevated with Daniel Jones at the helm. 49ers wide receiver Demarcus Robinson suspended for the first 3 games for violating the league's substance abuse policy. So there you go. That's one of the 49ers issues. Ben and Ayuk come back from the ACL as well. Jawan Jennings dealing with an injury. So San Fran hit with wide receiver and running back depth injuries and suspensions now. The Vikings dealing with their own wide receiver issues. Jordan Addison suspended. They have Jalen Naylor injured as well. A couple other injuries as well at the wide receiver position. They have inquired about an old friend, Panthers wide receiver Adam Thielen, potentially going to back to Minnesota in a trade, but have not heard anything on that front yet. The 49ers have placed running back Patrick Taylor Jr. on IR. That's another one of their injury issues there. The Bucks placing wide receiver Jalen McMillan on IR, neck injury. He is likely going to be out until after their Week 9 bye. So long, lengthy absence there for Jalen McMillan. Pup activation, guys coming back. Giants off the tackle Andrew Thomas. Dolphins tight end Darren Waller. Titans corner Ladarius Sneed. And the Bucks wide receiver Chris Godwin and off the tackle Tristan Wirfs, both activated off the pup list. But again, both likely not to play until October. Injuries, 49ers. Quarterback Mac Jones has a knee sprain. Should be good to go by Week 1, though, to back up Brock Purdy there. Also with San Fran, wide receiver Russell Gage, 7 to 10 days. He is out, sprained MCL for him. Falcons dealing with tackle issues. Off the tackle Storm Norton had ankle surgery. He is out 6 to 8 weeks. And right tackle Caleb McGarry has a leg injury that required him to get carted off last week. Jake Elliott has kicked another booming field goal there. 2 for 2 tonight. 6-0 Eagles right now in the MetLife Stadium. The other two games we got going on right now, Titans, Vikings are tied at 0, 9:22 to go in the first quarter, and the Falcons Cowboys also 0, about 9 minutes to go in the first there. Other injuries, Jags, rookie wide receiver at corner, Travis Hunter. He has an upper body injury, should be good to go week 1, though, I believe. The Steelers, big news from last night's preseason game. Rookie first-round defensive tackle Derek Harmon has an MCL sprain. He is going to be out about a month, but much better than what it could have been, though, for Pittsburgh. One release to mention, the Dolphins. They waived punter Ryan Stonehouse, and teams starting to get their cuts in from the teams that played last night. Giants, notable ones, wide receiver Zach Pascal and center Jimmy Morrissey. The Patriots releasing quarterback Ben Wooldridge, tight end Jaheim Bell, guard City So, defensive tackle Kyle Pecco, and linebacker Monty Rice, among others. Extensions. The Panthers today signing right tackle Taylor Moton to a 2-year, $44 million extension, $40 million guaranteed for Moton. I think that's an excellent deal for both the Panthers and Moton, likely finishing his career in Carolina. Short-term extension helps the long-term cap aspects as well for the Panthers. So I really like that extension for Carolina and Taylor Moton protecting Bryce Young's front side. The Bears paying a quarterback. They signed quarterback Tyson Bagent to a 2-year, $10 million extension, $16 million max value there for Bagent. Just an excellent story. D2 out of Shepherd, undrafted a couple years ago. Made his way into Chicago and has balled out in the preseason and in the regular season as well. So gets rewarded there with a big money deal. And one signing, the 49ers, they signed former Lions quarterback Nate Sudfeld with Mac Jones being injured right now. All right, let's talk about the preseason real quick. Eagles playing right now. Jets were actually 2.5-point favorites, but Jets are down 6-0 currently. Totals set at 32.5. Started at 7:30 there. They said 6-0. 12:40 to go in the second quarter there. Vikings at the Titans going on right now. Titans getting 3 points. Vikings. Can you hear me now, John?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. The Apple iOS was out of date, apparently. That was the issue.
That's why Samsung's better.
But yeah, anyways, you didn't have anything on any of the news before this, right? The college football starters announced at Notre Dame, UCF, UTEP, SEC 9-game slate. And,
I will say I'm excited to see Malachi Nelson at UTEP. 5 stars.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he hasn't done anything at USC or Boise State.
No, exactly. That's why I'm like, what's this guy look like? That's what I'm very curious to see. And then what was the other big starter? Who was the guy Ohio State just named? What was his name?
Julian Sayin.
Right. He's going to be, I saw someone say like, when you got a fucking Lamborghini, excuse my language, when you have a Lamborghini, you don't got to do much. Just the car ride, you know?
Yeah.
And then did Yamaliava win the job at UCLA? Was that announced? I know it came out that he lost it, but I guess that was a fake report.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that. I know on Monday I talked about blanking on how to say his name now at Cal. The quarterback at the Oregon transfer at Cal. Kiowa something.
I'd have to look. I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's one of those long ones. But anyways, yeah, that was another one there.
Is it this Jaron Kiawe?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a true freshman, isn't he?
Yeah, he transferred in from Oregon.
Was he a mid spring transfer or spring
Yeah.
admit, I'm guessing, at Oregon then?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like the number one quarterback or something like that.
That'll be interesting. I didn't know that. I think
Yeah.
Cal has who was that receiver who transferred from Wisconsin? I know because my school almost got him.
Will Pauling?
No, let me see. I think it was Cal.
I don't remember.
I'll look it up.
Just update here. Vikings kicking a field goal. They're up 3-0 on the Titans. That's not good for me, John. Neither is the Cowboys scoring a touchdown to go up 7-0. Freaking Joe Milton 1-yard touchdown run. I am on both the Falcons and the Titans spreads right now, so that's not great tonight. Anyways, any thoughts on the trades that went down? We had 5 of them.
Brian Robinson going to San Francisco is going to be interesting. I really hope him and Ricky Pearsall run out of the tunnel together to many men. Some 50 Cent, that'd be great. For selfish fantasy purpose, I was very happy he didn't go to Miami. Devon Achan's hurt, and I got the backup. Let's go. Unless you want to trade Charbonnet. I know New York had those 2 trades for defensive tackles. Harrison Phillips going there is going to be really interesting. I still think he's got some in the tank. I'm excited about the Jets defense. I don't think the team is going to be great, for all due respect to Fields, but I think Harrison Phillips is going to be an intriguing addition. How the heck did Devon Vele get taken for a 4th?
Yeah, I said the Broncos fleeced the Saints on that one, man.
What is happening? Yeah. I know he has 3 years of club control, but still, that has to be something where the Saints staff just loved him coming out of the draft, and they were frustrated they didn't get him. Well, I hope Seattle could do the same thing with Christian Haynes.
I mean, how could they? They weren't even there when Vele was drafted.
Well, where did that G? That's the same GM though.
Yeah, I guess it is.
It's still Mickey Loomis.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about the coaching staff, they could have been in love with him in Philly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. A 4th is crazy. Right away, I'm thinking in Seattle. What does that mean they could get for MVS? Marquez Valdes-Scantling.
Yeah.
I think the 3 years of club control is a huge deal. Because those other receivers who got traded all are on their last year.
Yeah, they got a 7 with them too. With it too.
Yeah. Sky Moore was on his last year of the deal. Was there another receiver trade that I'm missing?
No, that was all the trades.
The 2 receivers, the defensive tackles,
and Brian Robinson. Yeah.
Brian Robinson, and then there was the other one. Luke Fortner went to New Orleans for the Chiefs defensive tackle, or the former Chiefs defensive tackle, Colin Sanders.
Yeah, Colin Saunders, yeah.
Yeah. I think that was just smart for both sides. Fortner was going to be the 3rd string center, and the Saints just lost their first 2. So.
I did not know the Chiefs were playing their starters tonight. Okay.
They were just too scared to play against Seattle last week. Just kidding. They had a little bit of starters. Wait, is Mahomes playing?
Yeah. I got the Bears. I got the Bears tonight. But that's because I'm very confident in Tyson Bagent and even Austin Reed. Austin Reed has played well the last 2 preseasons as well. So
you see, Tyson Bagent is the first Bears quarterback to have an extension since Jay Cutler.
He's the GOAT. He's freaking good. Anyways. Yeah, I mentioned Daniel Jones getting the start there in Indy. Adam Thielen potentially going back to Minnesota there.
Carolina would be silly to trade him.
They can get something for a veteran that's not going to be there next year anyways.
I think it's so important for Bryce Young to have a promising year, though. And taking away a reliable slot, I see your point. I think that would be a mistake, personally.
Yeah. Going back to the preseason games here, Falcons at the Cowboys right now. I mentioned the Cowboys scored Joe Milton 1-yard rushing touchdown. They're up 7-0 in the second quarter, I think, by now. But Bears and Chiefs got kicked off. They're about a minute into that game. Chiefs got a 3rd and 1 at the Chicago 34. Mahomes and the starters are playing for Kansas City. Bears 2.5-point favorites there. It swung 4.5 points, actually. That's why I thought the Chiefs weren't playing their starters, because of the line movement. But maybe that means that Chicago is playing their starters too. I don't know.
I think it means Caleb Williams is better than Patrick Mahomes.
Most definitely. Hey, I got him in our Moles League, so it's all good.
You want to trade me Zach Charbonnet?
No. The tomorrow big slate preseason week 3 here, the battle for Maryland / DC, because DC's not Maryland. For anyone that didn't know that, DC is not Maryland, people.
They play in Maryland, though.
It is surrounded by Maryland, and yes, their stadium is in Maryland, but District of Columbia is not Maryland. Anyways, Ravens 3-point favorites. They're looking to get 3-0, as they usually do in the preseason, and I got money line on them, so I like the Ravens in that one. Cooper Rush has really progressed, I think, every preseason game so far in that backup role. Josh Johnson, Devin Leary has also played better as of late. They had a really good game at the Cowboys last week, and can't say the same for the Washington backups. They have not been very good.
What do you think of Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt?
Bill's pretty good. I watched him win offensive MVP at the East West Shrine Bowl. He scored 2 touchdowns and he was running through everyone. So
do you want to hear the reason why he goes by Bill?
Sure.
It's because it's a reference to money, not because he likes the name Bill. We had another running back at the time whose nickname was Dalla. So together they were Dalla Bill.
Yeah.
That's exclusive content for your podcast right
here. Forgot to say the total in the Vikes games 36.5. That's on CBS right now, and total in the Falcons games 35.5. That's on NFL Network. Total in the Bears game is 43.5. That kicked off at 8:20. Chiefs just scored. Isaiah Pacheco 2-yard touchdown run. 7-0 Kansas City. Again, not good for me. This one here, this is a 35.5-point total, 12 p.m. tomorrow. Colts at the Bengals. It'll be interesting. I don't know what the quarterback's going on here. I would think Anthony Richardson's going to play because he's not the starter. So why not play Anthony Richardson and get him more reps, right? Because he's not going to get the reps during the season when he's not the starter. So, yeah, I think it made sense to play him. The total here is 34.5. And it's at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Rams at the Browns. So Browns are – this is an interesting one. The Rams don't play anyone. Stetson Bennett likely gets the whole game again. And Stetson Bennett, go Dogs, he has been lights out this – I mean, he has been friggin' awesome. Leading a comeback last week in the battle for L.A., to beat the Chargers last second. And the Browns, they're playing their quarterbacks in this one. Joe Flacco is supposed to be playing. Dylan Gabriel's the backup. Shedeur Sanders also expected to play. So it comes into question. I still like the Rams on the spread. I might even sprinkle a little bit on the money line because I'm that confident in Stetson Bennett. I know he's going up against Jim Schwartz's defense. It's going to be I think a mix of starters and backups potentially for the Browns, but I still like Stetson Bennett. I'm taking the Rams on the spread. He's just been playing too well to not at least cover in this game. 36.5 total. I like the over in that one. 1 p.m. on NFL Network. Broncos. That's supposed to be 2-0. 3.5-point favorites at the Saints. Yeah, I think the Broncos are going to demolish the Saints, kind of like they did week 1 against the 49ers when they won 30-9.
Who's going to win this Saints quarterback job? Rattler?
I believe it will be Rattler. I think he has looked the best. I don't really like they really haven't given Jake Hayner a lot of run. I thought it was supposed to be a 3-way competition, not just Rattler versus Schuff.
Did you watch Jake Hayner play last year?
Yes, I did.
I think that did enough.
But a full off season for a guy is supposed to help, and I think it may have. I don't know.
No, you're right, but
we really haven't seen
really a battle of. I don't want to be rude to anyone. This is a lackluster room. I'll say that.
Yeah, but I do think Spencer Rattler has played the better ball in the preseason so far. I watched it a little bit when they were playing the Bears, I think it was. They played week 1. I can't remember. But yeah, I think Spencer Rattler has played better, so I think he will eventually get the start. For the Broncos, though, Jarrett Stidham. How about Jarrett Stidham this preseason? He has been just on fire, and I think he's going to have another great game in this one. The Broncos on the spread, 39.5 total there. I'm leaning on the over, 1 p.m. Texans at the Lions. Not sure who's playing in this one. I don't think they've gotten it settled yet. The backup job for Jared Goff there. I think it should be Kyle Allen. I mean, Hendon Hooker has not played well. That's just the facts. So I think Kyle Allen has already locked it up, but maybe not. Maybe he plays in this one as well, and they want one more game to decide it. But I think that's the key battle I'm looking for in this game. 34.5 total there, 1 p.m. Seahawks at the Packers. Seahawks looking to be undefeated in the preseason, get to 2-0-1. A lot of improvement last week for Green Bay and the quarterbacks. Malik Willis. Don't look right. Taylor Elgersma, man, he played great last week against the Colts. Sean Clifford was the one that led them back and ultimately scored the game-winning rushing touchdown there. But the Canadian phenom, look out, Malik Willis. Elgersma's coming, man.
Jalen Milroe playing this entire game.
Oh, okay. I'm betting on the Packers then. Milroe has not looked good.
There's been meat on the bone, but he still shows flashes. But it's okay. He's a developmental project who you're only going to play in running packages and small doses. He'll be good. Give him some time.
Yeah, but that's what we knew. We knew Milroe wasn't a polished passer coming out. I think I likened him to Anthony Richardson actually, because
he's not as big.
It was the same thing though. Like Richardson should have stayed at Florida. Milroe should have stayed at Alabama. Like both of those guys needed one more year, I thought, in college. Although they both went, Richardson went 4th overall, Milroe in the 2nd round. But yeah, I mean, they're going to get technically better coaching, I guess, at the NFL level. I would argue, though. I would say Anthony Richardson got better coaching, kind of, with Shane Steichen's staff. Milroe, I would say, got equal coaching. Would get equal coaching because of, I think, that highly of Kalen DeBoer. And
Ironically, this Milrow missed out on Ryan Grubb twice because he was going to be his OC at Alabama, but he took the Seahawks job. Gets drafted to the Seahawks, but he's not going to be the OC at the Seahawks because he's going back to Alabama.
Yeah.
I think just give Milrow time.
Yeah, for sure.
I think him playing this entire game is exactly what he needs, though. He just needs reps. To your point, why Anthony Richardson should play that game too. It just makes sense,
Yeah. Well, he's going to get a good opportunity to polish his throwing in this one. The Packers have what I think is a really bad secondary, and that's the starters. So I think that's why I have the
Micah
Packers.
Parsons can play DB, though, right?
Huh?
Micah Parsons can play nickel.
Yeah. By the way, the Bears are playing their starters. Caleb Williams just had a 3-and-out there. They had a fumbled snap on the first play that took them back 9 yards. So punt for the Bears there. Dolphins at the Jags, or Dolphins hosting the Jags, I should say. By this line, I would think that the Jags are not playing starters and the Dolphins are. That's what I get from a 6-point spread. So sure. Why not? I don't really have much in this one. The Seahawks game, by the way, 37.5 total there, 4 p.m. NFL Network. This game, 39.5. I'm leaning on the under there, 7 p.m. NFL Network. The Bills at the Bucks. Literally, the Bills are one of the worst preseason teams I've watched. They are not good. Mitch Trubisky, Mike White, both have not played very well, and I don't think it's making Sean McDermott's job a lot harder to decide who's going to be Allen's backup. I believe I haven't watched Hard Knocks, the latest episode, or maybe I've even missed 2 episodes. I can't remember, but
I'm very behind on that.
But I believe Mike White is in the lead right now because he has technically played better, I think. But it offensively, it has not been good. Defensively either, really. So we'll see. They're 2.5-point favorites. I lean on the Bucks, though. Kyle Trask and I can't remember who else is in the quarterback room there. Teddy Bridgewater. There you go. Total here is 36.5, 730. Chargers at the Niners.
Trey Lance, bro.
And no starters for the Niners. Is this Trey Lance revenge game here?
Oh yeah, Trey Lance is looking sharp.
I think he's looked okay. I'm looking for DJ Uyunglele, man. That's who I'm looking at. But yeah, we should see Nate Sudfeld in this game for San Francisco. Because Mac Jones is hurt. I do not believe the 49ers are playing their starters. So, okay, so Curtis Rourke is hurt as well. So we should get I guess did they release Nate Sudfeld too again, I guess. So this should be Carter Bradley and Tanner Mordecai for San Fran. That's
hell yeah.
That's a game right there. Yeah, and it should. If I don't know if Heineke's going to play or not, but yeah, if he doesn't, then it's Trey Lance and DJU. That's it. That's all the Chargers quarterbacks that they have. So, what a game! That's why the total's down at 35.5. I'm leaning on the under. 8:30 tomorrow. And then the last game of the preseason. Raiders, 2.5-point favorites at the Cardinals. I like the Raiders in this one. Cam Miller wins it on a last second touchdown, I think, to Tommy Malott. that'd be cool. I think.
Is that the closest a quarterback's thrown a touchdown to a quarterback since Marcus Mariota?
Yeah. My goodness. Mahomes just unloaded one. I don't know how much air yards it was, but he just threw a 58-yard pass to Tyquan Thornton. So, yeah, the Bears are getting rolled.
I didn't know that guy was in Kansas City.
Well, they had to make room by Sky Moore. 37.5 total here. I'm leaning on the under. 10 p.m. NFL Network.
Sky Moore, was he a first-round pick?
Huh?
What round was Sky Moore taken?
Second.
Second?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I thought he was a first-round pick for a second.
I don't believe so. Yeah, so all the bets are looking. The Titans scored. Let's go. 7-3. Julius Chestnut, a 1-yard touchdown. The Falcons are getting completely demolished. Joe Milton wrecking. Back-to-back 1-yard touchdown runs. This time it's Jaden Blue, rookie out of Texas. So Cowboys up 14-0, and the Chiefs threatening at the Chicago 12, third down. Up 7-0. Let's talk college football playoff. This is one of my favorite shows. And, last year we did it right before week 1. We just let the week 0 games go, and I decided to get us early in here and do it before week 0. So here we are. This is Logan's. And, John, he finally responded. I thought he was dead. I thought he died and because he hadn't responded in like a month. Anyways, he got all these picks in for me today, luckily, right before the show. Logan has the how about South Carolina? His is a wild one, I will say that. When he sent
South
it to me,
Carolina
I was like,
he must love. Wow. He probably likes Lenore Sellers. He's a draft guy. That's what it is.
South Carolina, the number 1 seed here. So that's who he has winning the SEC, I guess.
Do you like Caden Beck or not Caden Beck? Yeah. Who's the quarterback at Florida? Is the Georgia guy.
No, at Florida? DJ Lagway?
Oh, who am I?
You're talking about Miami.
I am talking about Miami. My bad.
Yeah, Carson Beck.
Yeah.
Chiefs hit a 31-yard field goal there from Harrison Butker. They're up 10-0. But yeah, Notre Dame at number 2. Michigan winner of the Big Ten there for him at number 3. Clemson wins the ACC at number 4. Number 5 is your Big 12 champ in Arizona State. You got 6 at-large bid with Georgia, at-large with Texas at 7, Oregon with an at-large bid at 8. Boise State, the 5th conference champion, Mountain West there, which we'll talk about, at 9. LSU at 10, Ohio State 11, Florida, the last seed in at 12. First out is Duke for him. I cannot recall who Duke's quarterback is, but I do not have Duke that high. 13th in the nation. USC is number 14 for him. But yeah, Florida beating Arizona State. Okay. Oregon beating Boise State. That would be a good game, I think. As would Ohio State. Georgia, Ohio State wins in this one. Texas over LSU. Texas over Notre Dame. Ohio State over Michigan in a rematch of the game. How about that? That would be wild just a couple weeks after they play the game to have a rematch. South Carolina over Oregon. That would be a close one as well. Clemson losing to Florida. I don't know why he believes in Florida. I do not that much. South Carolina, Texas, and Texas. Hook 'em, as Logan has in his bracket, as I'm sure a lot of people have this year with Arch Manning.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to watch Texas, and I'm ashamed to say it.
We'll see what it looks like week 1, man. We will see what it looks like week 1.
I've never been old enough to watch because I didn't watch college football as a kid. So I don't remember Peyton or Eli in college. So now I get to watch Manning in college. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. This is what Jimmy has. Jimmy's much different. Similar teams, though. Michigan, Ohio State playing against each other once again. But he has Georgia winning the SEC, Ohio State winning the Big Ten there. Logan at Michigan. Interesting. Logan does not have Penn State. That is wild to me. Hate you, Logan. Notre Dame at 3. Miami winning the ACC at 4 for Jimmy. Interestingly enough, Jimmy does not have Clemson. So 2 big ones left out of the
crazy.
top 5.
Clemson, I feel like I hate Clemson as an idea.
I'll talk about Clemson in my bracket, but
they're okay. They're stacked, right? That defense is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got guys everywhere, and they've developed. Like they're not just young, you know.
Mm-hmm. 5th for Jimmy is Texas. 6 is Penn State. 7 LSU. 8 Alabama. 9 Utah. There's your Big 12 champ for Jimmy. I do have a bet on Utah to win the Big 12. 10 is Michigan. 11 Oregon. And 12 your 5th conference champs. Tulane winning the AAC there. First out is Ole Miss for Jimmy, and second is also, just like Logan, USC. So he has Texas advancing to play Miami and then advancing to the semis. Bama beating Utah, Georgia, Bama in the quarters. Georgia advancing. Notre Dame, Penn State. How about a rematch of the semifinals from last year? Notre Dame beating Penn State once again. Ohio State over Michigan. Notre Dame over Ohio State in a rematch of the national championship. Georgia over Texas. They get them again. And Jimmy has Georgia. Go Dogs, baby. Winning the national championship. I don't see it, unfortunately, for my Georgia Bulldogs, but I appreciate Jimmy's bracket nonetheless. Here is mine. So this was a little bit tough because we're doing it this week and not next week when I don't have I haven't predicted SEC records yet. So I don't actually know how I feel about all the SEC teams that I put in here, but I kind of have a sense of which ones I want to put in. All right. Number 1, I have Clemson winning the ACC, number 1 seed there. Texas winning the SEC at number 2. Penn State winning the Big Ten at 3. Georgia, the second best SEC team. I think they are better than the Big Ten champ, and they should be than the Big 12 champ, and they should be number 4. I do have the Big 12 champ, Iowa State, at number 5. 6 is LSU, 7 is Ohio State, 8 is SMU, 9 Oregon, 10 is Alabama, Arizona State comes in at 11, and Boise State is my 5th conference champion at 12. Tulane's an interesting one for the G5 champ, like Jimmy had, but because we're doing the Mountain West preview today, and I looked at Boise State's roster, I was like, my goodness, they return a ton. So I like Boise State as the G5 champ and representative in the playoff. But yeah, I have Iowa State beating. Oh, first out is Miami. Yeah, Carson Beck. Sorry, bud. You should have went to the draft. It's not a personal vendetta against Carson Beck, by the way.
That NIL money, bro.
It's just how.
Look at what happened to our homie in Miami from Texas. What's his name? It's escaping me.
I don't know.
Quarterback last year. He was drafted by the Dolphins.
Oh, Quinn Ewers?
Yeah. He lost out on so much money. He would have made more at making NIL.
Yeah. But yeah, Miami, it's just I think that the other teams have better records, and I do have, in terms of ACC wise, I do have Clemson and SMU over Miami, so that's why SMU gets in over them anyways. And South Carolina is my second out. I think they're going to be good. I think they're. I mean, you look right here. I have, what was that, four SEC teams in: Texas, Georgia, LSU, Alabama. So, I mean, fifth in the SEC for South Carolina. I mean, that would be ridiculous if there's 5 SEC teams. I mean, I don't know. I'm an SEC guy, but I'm not that biased. I'm not Paul Feinbaum because he goes a little overboard, I think, sometimes. Anyways, Iowa State, I have beating Boise State. I just think Iowa State is absolutely loaded. They return a ton. Rocco Becht is the best Big 12 quarterback. And although they have to break in new receivers, I don't think it's that big of a deal when you have such a veteran quarterback. It makes it a lot easier. And they still have Abu Sama at running back that I think they're gonna be able to run the ball nicely and win the Big 12 there. I have Oregon over SMU. That's probably because Kevin Jennings throws some picks against that Dan Lanning defense. And although I do have question marks with Oregon, Dante Moore's obviously the biggest question mark. Like, can he be the 5-star that he was supposed to be? Didn't play that well at UCLA. Obviously doesn't have the types of players that he does at Oregon now, but also doesn't help that Evan Stewart is out for the year. Their number one wide receiver. So that's why I have Oregon a little bit lower than other people. LSU over Arizona State, I think that's going to be an excellent game. That ASU defense versus the LSU offense, I think, is going to be something to watch. But don't discount Sam Leavitt for ASU. Second year starting and played pretty well last year. No Cam Scatterby, though. That's a big issue. Jordan Tyson, however. Alabama, Ohio State. That one's interesting. I do have OSU beating Alabama, though. I don't know. These were kind of scrapped together just on the whim. Georgia over Iowa State. I could definitely see Iowa State beating Georgia. It's just Ken Gunnar Stockton be the guy, and we'll see. Clemson over Oregon. I think Clemson will trounce Oregon. I think that'll be a bad game, sort of like the Ohio State-Oregon game in the playoff, to be honest. Penn State LSU. That would be an excellent game. I think that Penn State's defense, though, with Jim Knowles, can shut down the LSU offense, and Drew Aller makes a game-winning drive potentially. Texas, Ohio State. How about Arch Manning revenge game in some of the CFP quarterfinals? I guess Quinn Ewers was the guy that went to Ohio State, not Arch Manning. My bad. But anyways, it would be a revenge game for Texas since they lost to Ohio State in the semis. Georgia, Clemson. Clemson finally gets revenge for the week 1 10-3 game that they lost a couple years ago. And Penn State, Texas, I think that thing would be wild. Absolutely wild game for Penn State, Texas. I would pay to go see that. I would pay whatever I have to. And then my Nittany Lions have made the national championship, but they run into Clemson. I have the Clemson Tigers winning the national championship. Dabo Swinney gets his third. I just think Clemson is not really by far, because there's a lot of other very veteran teams this year, but they are really good. And I think Cade Klubnik, he has Antonio Williams at wide receiver. They have veteran-laden offensive and defensive lines. The defense should be stout, like you were mentioning, John, at all 3 levels. Potential, Bud Nerick award winners. Thorpe Award, Nagurski, any awards at the end of the year, like there will probably be a Clemson player up for every single one, maybe 2. When you're talking about the defensive awards. But yeah, I love Clemson this year, and they're my pick to win the Natty. And they really don't have a lot of competition in conference. SMU, I think, is definitely their biggest competitor. I have question marks about Kevin Jennings though, because he really shit the bed in their CFP game against Penn State last year. Miami is kind of the same thing. They have a lot of talent, but we'll see.
I think Texas and Clemson would probably be my top 2 that I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Just because Arch Manning and Texas, I don't know. Those are the ones I feel good about. And we talked about Clemson's defense. I just think Manning's going to be crazy. So we'll see.
Yeah. Just some score updates. Nick Folk hit a 41-yard field goal at the buzzer for the Jets, so it's 6-3 Philly at halftime. Falcons, Younghoe Koo just hit a 38-yarder. They're down 11 now, 14-3. And once again, the Chiefs are driving. Andy Reid keeping his starters in for a while. Patrick Mahomes still playing, and it's almost the end of the first quarter. Don't get him hurt. Just saying. Gardner Minshew is Minshew mania again. Anyways, Heisman winner here. So, Jimmy has picked Arch Manning. I believe he's the favorite. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he is.
Off the top of my head, but
him or the Ohio State receiver.
Yeah. So Arch Manning is Jimmy's pick. I could see it. Sure. We'll see. I think for him to win it, he has to have the rushing numbers too, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I think people are excited that a Manning can run. What the heck is that?
Eli ran a little bit.
Right.
I don't think I've seen
Peyton. Arch's 40 would be.
I don't
know. He's not electric speed, but he's quick.
I don't think I've seen Peyton run in my life.
Yeah, he had that one goal line touchdown that no one thought he. You know what I'm talking about? And he just jogged into it. No. Just tricked everybody.
Logan is picking Jeremiah Smith. Non-quarterback has not won since Devontae Smith, I believe. Yeah, sure. Yeah, cool. Whatever. He's out of my mind. I don't care. He shouldn't have won anyways.
It should have been Ashton Genty.
Yes, it should have been Ashton Genty.
I'm glad we agree.
My pick's at the bottom there. I'm with my national championship team. Cade Klubnik will win the Heisman Trophy this year. He's going to put up awesome numbers. Barely going to get touched this year because of the offensive line. They have Blake Miller, specifically left tackle, guarding his blind side. Should be a first-round pick. He has Antonio Williams, like I mentioned. I can't remember if Jake Brenningstool's still there or not. He feels like he's been there for a while, if he is still there. And then, yeah, I mean, he's got the defense to back him up as well. Probably give him a lot of short fields. So I think Klubnik's going to put up a hell of a stat line this year, at least 3,500 passing yards. And John, just popped into my head, 40 passing touchdowns for Cade Klubnik. Is that crazy? I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know.
I think I think it's going to be a quarterback. As much as I love Jeremiah Smith, that's just, as you were alluding to, it's very tough to do it as a non-quarterback. So, and he's going to be reliant on the new quarterback with Julian Sayin.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but I think it's probably going to be a quarterback. I'm going to lean Arch. Is how mobile is Klubnik? I haven't watched him much.
Very, very
He
mobile.
is mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of mobile, what about Lenoris Sellers?
Yeah, he's up there too.
Because
I'm surprised Logan didn't put him in there at South Carolina's #1 seed.
Oh yeah, if he was going to have that happen, I would think that
Yeah,
I think if South Carolina is in position to win like two playoff games, then I think he would probably be your favorite.
Probably, yeah. All right, week 0. Here we go. We got games, and we're starting off with a bang. I mean, how much better does it get? Week 0, lone wolf for Jimmy. Jimmy's starting us early this year. Jimmy rolling with the Cats in Ireland. Aer Lingus Classic or whatever it's called. Kickoff Classic. Number 22, Iowa State. Number 17, Kansas State. 3.5 for the Cats. I picked Iowa State to win the Big 12. That's where I'm sticking with. Logan and I are on the same page as Cyclones. I just think they had the better roster. And Avery Johnson he has not put it together yet. He's another one of those guys, like we were talking about with Richardson and Milroe. I think still at this point in Avery Johnson's career, he's still a better runner than he is a passer. And I don't believe in the weapons that they have at KSU to really, compete with the likes of an Iowa State or Arizona State. What do you think about this monumental matchup in week 0, John?
To be honest, this is where you're going to start losing me with some of this stuff. I'm not sure about these guys. I'm not sure about either of these teams. So I'll agree with what you're saying.
It's a wild that we're getting something like this in week 0.
This is an exciting matchup for week 0, to be honest. Usually it's a lot of cupcake matchups.
Yeah.
So
we'll see those next. Patrick Mahomes 4-yard touchdown to Rashee Rice. The Chiefs are absolutely rolling in Kansas City right now, and my Bears bet is getting demolished. It's okay. We are okay. Tyson Bagent is going to come back and win for us.
How is Caleb doing?
He's barely had the ball. 3 for 4, 24 yards.
Hell yeah. MVP.
Mahomes 8 of 13, 143 and a touchdown. I think Mahomes is good to go. Titans scored their second touchdown. Brandon Allen, 65-yard touchdown to Van Jefferson. There you go.
Love Van Jefferson. He torched Seattle a few times. It was very annoying.
What I would love is a grand slam from Jackson Holiday right now to tie the game up for the Orioles. That'd be great. The total in this game here is 51.5, and I'm going to lean on the over. This one, 12 p.m. tomorrow, ESPN. Here's what you were talking about, John. Idaho State, the Bengals traveling to Vegas to face the UNLV Rebels. 29.5 for Coach Mullen's squad.
I'm excited to see Dan Mullen at UNLV.
Yeah, it should be good. We'll talk about their roster later, but UNLV will win this and win it.
This will be a good game for me to scout because guess who Idaho State plays in week 2?
Yeah.
Your boys.
65.5. That is wild for this game. I'm going with the under. I don't think UNLV is going to score 66. and I don't think Idaho State's going to score enough, if any, to put this thing over. I'm rolling with the under 65.5. 4 p.m. tomorrow. It's not on a national network. That's a shame.
Damn.
Have to stream it. Have to stream it somewhere.
Is Jalen Daniels at Kansas still?
Yes, he is for the nth year.
He looked good 2 years ago.
He played like crap last year. That's for sure.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, but if he has a comeback, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of been a bell curve for Kansas. They hit their peak a couple years ago, like you were saying, in Lance Leopold's second year, I think it was. And it just has not been that great. Now they've lost some players, like Luke Grimm has gone to the NFL. I can't remember who else, but yeah, I mean, 14.5, I would lean really, I'm leaning Fresno plus 14.5. I would like Fresno on the spread even more if they still had Mikey Keene. They do not, but and they lost a lot offensively. New head coach as well, but I think Fresno will put up a decent fight. They're always a pretty solid squad. But yeah, Kansas should win this one, I think, for sure. Total here is 49.5. I'm going to lean on the over. 6:30 on Fox. Sam Houston at Western Kentucky. Jimmy's going wild in week 0. Along with all the cats, except for the Idaho State Bengals. Yeah, Sam Houston Bearcats at the West Kentucky Hilltoppers. WKU, new offensive coordinator, new quarterback. And to be honest, I can't remember who it is. But the Hilltoppers, I think, are going to be really good this year. They always have a great offense under Tyson Helton there as head coach. Maverick McIver, Abilene Christian quarterback, transferred in. He was really good. He put up a lot of stats at ECU, so we'll see what he can do at the FBS level. And again, Tyson Helton's offense has always been good. So, and for Sam Houston, they've lost a ton. I think the defense will still be okay, but offensively, I'm not sure what they're going to do. They lost their quarterback. They lost a lot of their weapons as well, offensive line. So I think it's going to be a little bit more of a struggle this year for Sam Houston, but like Western Kentucky in this one, and to cover. 61.5 total. I would lean on the over because the Hilltopper offense. 7 p.m. CBS Sports. And the nightcap, Stanford at Hawaii on the island.
Let's go.
Rainbow Warriors getting 2.5, and no one is picking them. We are all on the Fighting Andrew Lucks.
Frank, bro.
When is this game? Is this like noon?
Late?
Is this like noon local time?
Or I don't know. It might be is that what it is? They do night games?
Probably. It's at 7:30 Eastern.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. That's gonna be 11 a.m. or something. I don't know how many more hours it is off the West Coast. Time wise. I don't know if they're 1 or 2.
They are 2 hours off of the West Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because Alaska's 2 hours from me, so they're 3 hours from Mountain. So they're 4 or 5 hours from Eastern.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's 2:30 kickoff local there. for this one. And I don't know. These two teams are weird this year. I used to like Hawaii a lot when they had Braden Shager, but he is gone. So I don't know. We'll see what we get into with Hawaii though. Talk about them a little bit. Oh man, that was a pick, potentially pick 6. Gant, the Toledo linebacker there. I can't remember his first name. But yeah, Stanford, I think, I think this game's kind of a toss-up. That's why, it's a small line anyways. Stanford hasn't been very good, but they have a veteran head coach. Like him or hate him, Frank Reich is an experienced interim head coach. They have Andrew Luck essentially running personnel. And they have an experienced quarterback in Ben Branson from Oregon State. So, sure, Stanford wins it.
I will say it is hard to play on the island, but I would think Stanford here too.
Yeah. Hawaii's got some weapons, but yeah. All right, let's get into the Mountain West. I know this is already like really long. I don't know what you got going on, John, but
I got about half hour. Okay. Most.
Well, we probably will not get to New Mexico then by the time you're getting off, because Nevada, we start at the bottom. Nevada, 3-10 last year, 0-7 in conference. Losses, quarterback Brendan Lewis went to Memphis. Running back Savion Red went to Sac State. Running back Pat Garwo is gone, as is wide receiver Jaden Smith. Wide receiver Cortez Brahim went to Memphis. Offensive tackle Isaiah World went to Oregon. Linebacker Drew Watts went to Memphis. Linebacker Tangiaki Matealona is gone. Linebacker Henry Ikahihifo is gone as well. Corner Michael Coates Jr. went to West Virginia. Corner Chad Brown to Purdue. Safety Katan Crawford is on the Cardinals. Safety Torrey Daffin is in the transfer portal. Kicker Matthew Killam is gone also. Unfortunately for the Wolfpack, they're 3-10 last year, and they did not return a lot of players. Quarterbacks Chuba Purdy and AJ Bianco. Running back Caleb Ramsor. Wide receiver Marcus Bayonne. Offensive tackle John Bowles. Guard Josh Grabowski. Center Andrew Madrigal. And linebacker Stone Combs. So, yeah, it's it's tough on Jeff Choate there. They did get a lot of transfers, though. Running back Herschel Turner from Utah State. Fullback Lucan McEndu from Oklahoma State. Wide receivers Jordan Brown, Kansas. Nick Rempert, North Texas. Dakota Thomas, Southern Miss. Tight end Jet Carpenter, Eastern Washington. Offensive tackle Jack Foster from Idaho. Guard Hadeen Diaby from Tennessee State. Interior defensive lineman Logo Va'a from UTEP. Interior D-line Bryce Eccles from Arizona. Edge rusher Miles Williams from Cal. Linebacker Najee Logan from Indiana. Linebacker E.J. Smith from Cerritos College. Corner A.J. Odom from UTEP. Edward Rambo from Bowling Green. Hayden McDonald from Columbia. Cooper Wilson from Nebraska. Xavier Abercrombie from Weber State. Safety Mervyn Kenyon III from Sacramento State. Bryson Snelling from Butte College. Punter Bailey Ettridge, freshman. And kicker Keaton Emmett from Western Oregon. Bears kicked a field goal. They're down 14, 17-3. And it doesn't start off well for Nevada. Like, why do they do this to themselves? At Penn State, week 1. My goodness. They're going to lose. John, dare I make them lose week 2? Home against Sacramento State.
No, that's crazy.
Did you not see how many transfers Sacramento State got and the quality of transfers that they got?
Yeah, I did, but give Nevada some respect.
With Chuba
that's
Purdy,
not crazy. That's not crazy, to be honest.
With Chuba Purdy at quarterback, I don't know. Brendan Lewis wasn't terrible, but all right, I'll give him a win. Yeah, they're gonna. I think they're gonna lose the rest of them. I mean, I don't. Where is there another win? I don't see one. I mean, this team isn't. I don't think the most terrible team, but based off their schedule, based off what the other teams did in the conference, I do not see at Western Kentucky. That's a loss. At bye week 5, at Fresno State, home against San Diego State, at New Mexico, home against number 25 Boise State on a Friday, week 10 bye, at Utah State. The Utah State one, maybe they could get that one, but I like Utah State. San Jose State, they lose. They lose at Wyoming, lose against UNLV. It's a 1-11 for me. 0-7 conference play.
That's crazy.
I mean, where are their wins, John? I don't know. They went 0-7 in conference play last year.
Yeah.
And they even played 13 games. They still could only win 3 in non-conference. They're definitely going to go at least. What's crazy to me is that Mountain West only plays 7 conference games.
Yeah, that is light. It's because they got to do money games.
But did they switch that this year though?
That sounds right.
They did. No, it's 8 this year. Yeah, because they have Fresno State, San Diego State, New Mexico, Boise State, Utah State, San Jose State, Wyoming, and UNLV. Yeah, that's there's 8 conference games this year. Which makes more sense because SEC is going to 9 now, and most other ones are at 8. So makes sense. All right. Wyoming Cowboys. 3-9 last year, 2-5 in conference. They lost some production. Running back Harrison Whaley went to Virginia. Jamari Farrell is in the transfer portal. Wide receiver Tyler King went to New Mexico State. Will Pelissier is gone. Edge rusher Braden Siders went to West Virginia. Linebacker Shea Suianoa is gone. Connor Shea is on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the CFL. Corner Rook Brown went to Houston. Tyresis Davis went to Colorado. Keani Parks went to Houston. Safeties Isaac White, Wyatt Eckler, and kicker John Hoyland all gone. Returning, though. Cowboys do have some guys returning. Quarterback Caden Anderson, running back Sam Scott, wide receivers Jalen Sargent, Chris Durr Jr., tight end John Michael Gillenborg. I really like that guy, dude. He's pretty good. Gillenborg.
Love the name.
Yeah. Tight end Evan Svoboda. How about Svoboda switching from quarterback to tight end, a la Eli Stowers? Offensive tackle Rex Johnson, guards Wes King and Caden Barnett, center Jack Walsh. See, John, I'm giving you all the scouting reports on all the teams in your conference, anyways, right now. Like you should.
I know this is what's great. I'm listening. I'm learning so much.
Yeah, you should stay on for the whole thing. I'm gonna give them all the information that you need.
Let's get through them.
Transfers, big transfer class for Wyoming. Quarterback Landon Sims from East Central Community College. Running back Teron Kelman from Charlotte. Their kick returner is running back Kamaje Harris from North Texas. Wide receiver Jackson Holman from Arizona. Freshman wide receiver Dion DeBlanc. Interior defensive lineman Anish Vyas from Bucknell. Edge rushers Chisholm Ifeani from FAU. Braden Wilson from Weber State. Isaiah Boger from Riverside Community College, or Riverside City College, I should say. Linebacker Braden Johnson, Oklahoma Baptist. Ethan Stulsatz from Linwood. Enoch Sibomana from North Dakota State. Corner Dainsis Miller from Mercer. Desmond Hearns from Southern Illinois. BJ Inman from Snow College. Safety Justin Taylor from Wisconsin. Jaden DaCosta from Portland State. and punter Bart Edmiston from Jones College. All right, schedule for Wyoming. I think they win week 1 at Akron. Zips might give them something. That's on a Thursday. Home against Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa is usually pretty solid in the FCS ranks. I'll give them a win there, though. They're going to lose against Utah, lose at Colorado, week 5 bye. They're going to lose against UNLV at home, lose against San Jose State. At Air Force, that's a tough one. Go into the elevation in Colorado. But Air Force, I don't think is that good this year. They lost a lot, and obviously the service academies don't get transfers. So Wyoming, I think, definitely has a shot, but I'm going to have them lose because it's on the road. Lose against Colorado State. Another one that they have a shot at is San Diego State. But again, it's on the road, so I'm going to have them lose. Week 11 bye. I'm going to have them beat Fresno State on the road. Win against Nevada. Win at Hawaii. So it's an improvement this year for Wyoming for me. It's 5-7. I don't really believe in Caden Anderson that much because I haven't really watched. But I think they got some nice transfers, and they have some returning production in the tight ends. I really like the tight ends. Sam Scott at running back should be okay as well, and they have some veterans on the O-line. So 5-7, and that is a 3-5 conference record. Let's talk about San Diego State, the Aztecs. That's a nice throw. Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord's playing pretty well tonight. He's doing all right. San Diego State, 3-9 last year, 2-5 in conference here. Losses, big time losses at the quarterback position. Daniel O'Neill went to Wisconsin. Javens Tupauata Johnson went to North Dakota. Running back Marquez Cooper is gone. Wide receivers Lewis Brown IV went to Baylor. Jashawn Polk is gone. Nate Bennett is gone as well. Tight end Jude Wolf gone. Defensive tackle Tupu Alu is in the transfer portal. Linebacker Kyle Moretti is gone. So they didn't lose a ton defensively, but a lot of offensive production lost in quarterback and skill positions. What do they have coming back, though? Wide receiver Jordan Napier. Offensive tackle Christian Jones. Guard Tyler McMahon. Center Ross Ulugalu Maseuli. Edge Trey White is one of the best edge rushers in the country. I think he had 16 and a half sacks some last year. Wild. Linebacker Tano Latuli. Corner Chris Johnson. Safeties Daleshawn Staley and Deshaun McEwen. And kicker Gabriel Placencia. I really like Placencia at kicker there. Oh, man. Here come the Orioles. Sorry, baseball.
How are the Mariners? Oh, the Mariners aren't playing yet.
I really like this transfer class here for the Aztecs. Not sure who's going to be the starter on our lads. It is Jaden Denegal as the starter, coming in from Michigan. Bert Emanuel Jr., they also got from Central Michigan. They got running back Christian Washington from Coastal Carolina, wide receiver Miles Kit Denton, Northwestern State, Jacob Bostic from Texas A&M, tight end Seth Adams from Southeastern Louisiana, Jackson Ford from Tulsa, offensive tackle Bayo Kanike from Utah Tech, touchdown Montreal Johnson. Eagles getting up, see if they go for 2 or not to make it 14-3, or if they're going to settle for the extra point, make it 13-3, but Eagles looking good right now. Offensive tackle Cam May from Howard. Guard Dallas Fincher from Michigan State. Mason Baker from American River College. First one I've heard of that. I never heard of that one before. Interior defensive lineman Malachi Finau from Hawaii. Linebacker Mr. Williams from UIW. Safety Josiah Cox from New Mexico State. Dwayne McDougal from Idaho, and punter Hunter Green from Northern Colorado. By the way, Falcons just scored 48 seconds to go in the first half. Easton Stick, 23-yard touchdown to Felipe Franks. Falcons down 4, coming back behind Easton Stick. Schedule. Here we go. Win at home, Stony Brook on a Thursday, week 1. At Washington State. That's a tough one. I'm going to have them lose that one on the road. Week 3 bye. Cal's decent, so I'm going to lose that one. At Northern Illinois. Dude, I really like the Huskies. Just saying. But I'll have SDSU win. I'll have them go 2-2 in non-conference play. They're going to lose against Colorado State on a Friday. I'm pretty high on CSU this year. They're going to win at Nevada. Week 8 bye. That's tough to have your second bye only week 8. They got to play 6 games down the stretch.
Yikes. That is crazy.
At Fresno State, they win. They win against Wyoming. I'm going to do it. I'm going to have them get shocked on the road at Hawaii, unfortunately, because that would be their 6th win that they need, because I'm having them lose out against number 25 Boise State, San Jose State, at New Mexico. Actually, John, I can't do it. I'm having them losing to Hawaii, a win against New Mexico on Black Friday.
Damn, bro.
I'm ruining your shopping day, John.
Coming from my heart.
My goodness, the Chiefs are driving once again, this time behind Gardner Minshew into the red zone. Gosh, the Bears are getting killed. So it is 6-6 for me for the Aztecs. 4-4 in conference. The Air Force Falcons, 5-7 last year, 3-4 in conference. Losses. This is why I don't really like Air Force this year. They lost their top 2 quarterbacks. Quentin Hayes went to the Citadel. John Boucher is gone. Boucher. Wide receiver Jared Rosno is very good wide receiver, even in the triple option offense. He is gone. Edge rusher David Santiago went to Michigan State. Linebacker Osaro Ihai is gone. Linebacker Grant Ewell. Corner Jamari Bellamy and Trey Williams. Jerome Gaylord Jr. Safety Camby Goff. All gone. Safety Lincoln Tuioti Mariner went to Southern Utah. And kicker Matthew DePore is gone as well. They do return quite a bit, though. Quarterback Josh Johnson. Running back Cade Frew. Fullbacks Dylan Carson and Owen Allen. Wide receivers Cade Harris and Quinn Smith. Offensive tackles Trevor Tate, Nathan Elwood. Guards Alec Falk and Jake Burnett. Center Costin Cooley and punter Luke Freer. Biggest issue, they don't return any statistical key contributors on defense. So it is what it is. But no transfers. Like I said, they don't get transfers. They really can't in in the service academies. So that's tough as well. Eagles kick the extra point. They're up 13-3. Schedule. They will win against Bucknell. But their schedule is really weird. They have a week 2 bye. Then they go to Utah State. I'm going to have them win that one. Lose against number 25 Boise State. It's at a home, so I think they can win against Hawaii. They're going to lose at Navy, lose at UNLV. Lose against Wyoming. Week 9 bye. They're going to lose against Army, lose at San Jose State, lose at UConn. Lose against New Mexico, lose at Colorado State, Black Friday. I think I had them winning against Wyoming, actually, so it's not going to be that bad. 4-8 for me on Air Force. And they actually went, let's see. I think it's 1-3 non-conference here. Navy, Army, UConn, all losses, and Bucknell. So it's a 3-5 conference record. Hawaii, the Rainbow Warriors. 5-7 last year, 3-4 in conference. Losses, big time. Braden Shager is gone. Running back Tylen Hines went to Tarleton State. Wide receivers DeKel Crowdis went to Wisconsin. Jonah Pinoque is gone. Spencer Curtis gone. Edge rusher Elijah Robinson gone. Linebacker Logan Taylor. Corners Cam Stone and Caleb Brown. Cam Stone's gone. Corner Caleb Brown went to Virginia Tech, and safety Justin Sinclair is gone as well. Returning. What Hawaii does have, though, is a lot of returning players. Quarterback Micah Alejado, running back Landon Sims, wide receivers Nick Senecal and Pofele Ashlock, who I've loved since his freshman year. Really great player, Pofele Ashlock. Offensive tackles Dean Brisky and James Milovale. Guards Zen Sotelo and Kual Pehopa. Center Ethan Spencer. Edge rusher Jackie Johnson III. Linebacker Jemai Otis. Corner Elijah Palmer. Safety Peter Manuma. And kicker Kansei Matsuzawa. How about that one? Transfers for Hawaii. Quarterback Luke Weaver from Modesto Junior College. Wide receivers Jackson Harris from Stanford. Brandon White from Kentucky. Max Ware from Arizona State. Interior defensive linemen, they beefed up in the portal. Carson Stoklinski from Richmond. Dejan Benton, New Mexico. Quinn Williams from Ohio Dominican. Luther McCoy from Minnesota. Edge rusher Kaeo Akana from Utah. Linebacker Giovanni Iovino from San Diego. Corner Elijah Gibson from Glendale Community College. And freshman punter Billy Gowers. Cowboys kicked a field goal for halftime. How long was that thing from Brandon Aubrey? I think it had to be. 64 from Aubrey there. My goodness. That guy's ridiculous.
Aubrey's crazy. Not 70, but
he can't Cam Little it. But Chiefs just kicked a field goal as well. Good red zone stop for the Bears. They're up 20-3. My goodness, I'm getting wrecked. Hawaii. Well, we saw the picks, right? We all have Hawaii losing to Stanford week 1. At Arizona, they're going to lose that one as well. Sam Houston's a tough team, but I'll have Hawaii win. And it's interesting. I don't know if you saw the script, John. Hawaii technically plays 4 games on Sunday this year.
Like according to Eastern time, or what do you mean?
Yes.
Okay, but it's the local time.
There is 4 games that kick off at midnight Eastern. Eastern time is the only time that matters, John.
East Coast bias. You disgust me.
What does all the TV programs go on? East Coast time.
Yeah, East Coast bias. Every sports fan knows the West Coast is the best. Actually, Mountain's the best because it's still not crazy early.
John, we get to run all the time because we wake up first. Early bird gets the worm, man, right?
I just hear a hater.
And then, of course, the Orioles are letting up 2nd and 3rd with no outs, down 1. Cool. Anyways, they're going to win against Portland State on Sunday. They're going to Fresno State one is tough. I'm going to have them lose against Fresno State, though, on a Sunday. At Air Force, they're going to lose that one. Week 6 bye. Home against Utah State on a Sunday. I think they win. Lose at Colorado State. Week 9 bye. At San Jose State, lose. We're going to lose against San Diego State. Week 12 bye. At UNLV on a Friday, they lose. So it's a 3-9 record for me for the Rainbow Warriors. And it looks like it's 1-7 in conference play. Rough. San Jose State, the Spartans, 7-6, 3-4 last year. I really like this team, John. I'm telling you right now. Emmett Brown goes to Coastal Carolina, the quarterback. Wide receiver Nick Nash is on the Falcons. Wide receiver Justin Lockhart is on the Chiefs. Wide receiver Trayshawn Hurry went to Louisville. Defense tackle Soane Toya, linebacker Jordan Cobb's both gone. Corner DJ Harvey went to USC. Michael Dansby went to Arizona. Amir Wallace is gone. Safety Robert Rahimi went to SMU. And kicker Kyler Halverson is gone as well. Returning, though, this is probably one of the most veteran teams in the Mountain West this year. Quarterback Walker Eggett. He's a big reason why I like them. But also the
I
running
went to school with that guy's brother.
The running backs, Floyd Chalk, the fourth, is really good. Jabari Bates, Lamar Radcliffe, they returned their top three runners from last year. Wide receiver Matthew Coleman, tight end Jackson Kanan, offensive tackle Pasetti Lapuaho, guard Sione Nomani, guard Uluakinofo Taliauli, center Hudson Mesa, edge rushers Jordan Pollard, Taniela Latu, and John Norwood, safety Isaiah Rivas, and punter Trent Carrizosa, all returning for the Spartans. Transfers, they got some. They beefed up on wideouts. Danny Scudero from Sacramento State, Leland Smith from Purdue, Mason Starling from Cal, Malachi Riley from Arizona, interior defensive lineman Vili Tafato Fua from Utah, corner Caleb Presley from Washington, corner Malachi Crawford from USC, kicker Dennis Lynch from USC as well. Schedule here. They win at home against Central Michigan on a Friday. They're going to win week 2, John. At Texas. Number 1, Texas.
That's crazy. Hey, man, I got to run, but before I go, can you tell me what record you have New Mexico going?
Let's see here. Under new head coach Jason Eck. Loss at number 14 Michigan week 1. Win against Idaho State. Lose at UCLA on a Friday. I just got to see who they have returning, and not a lot of returning, John. That's a big issue.
Oh, I know. Trust me.
Lost a ton in the coaching change there. I like a lot of their transfers, though. I will say that. The quarterback scares me. Week 4 bye. They'll beat New Mexico State, I think. Lose at San Jose State on a Friday. Lose at number 25 Boise State. Win against Nevada. Lose against Utah State. Lose at UNLV. Week 11 bye. Lose against Colorado State. It's a 3-9 for me, John.
I think they take Utah State. Bronco Mendenhall's coming back.
That one's close. They got a rough schedule, though.
They beat Washington State last year. I mean, no one's back, but
that was with Dan. Yeah, they got a rough schedule though. They play they play all the hardest teams in the conference. UNLV,
money games, bro. But
UNLV, Boise State, San Jose State, Colorado State. Those are 4 games in the conference those are really good teams. The ones that they have chances are New Mexico State, Nevada, Utah State, and Idaho State. I think those, and if they win that, they can get to 5-7, or 6-6. They would get to 6-6, or no, 5-7, yeah, or no, 4-8. Never mind. I have them winning all of them except for Utah State. That's the only other one I think they have a chance at.
We'll see what happens. We'll see. Appreciate you having me on, Rusty. I'll catch you later,
sure.
All right?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. So, continuing with San Jose State here, win against Central Michigan on a Friday, lose at number 1 Texas. Eagles just kicked a field goal, by the way. They are up 16-3 here. Jake Elliott, 23-yard field goal for the Birds. Week 3 bye against Idaho. They're going to win that one. At Stanford, I think they can win that. Win against New Mexico on a Friday. Win at Wyoming. Win at Utah State on a Friday. Week 9 bye. They're going to win against Hawaii. Win against Air Force. Win at Nevada. Lose at San Diego State. And lose against Fresno State somehow. they play not the hardest teams in the conference. I mean, my goodness. I'm going to have them beat Fresno State. I don't care. 10-2. I think San Jose State's going to be really freaking good. 10-2, man. And it is a non-conference. I think they only lost one, the Texas game. Yeah. So it's a 7-1 in conference. San Jose State's rolling. They have a very nice schedule this year. And the Orioles are just sucking. They are getting demolished now, 10-6. That's fantastic. Titans kicked field goal. They're up 17-3. Big time boot, 63-yarder from Joey Sly. Kickers out here making long bombs tonight. All right, Utah State, the Aggies, 4-8, 3-4 last year. Losses. Quarterback Spencer Petras is gone. Running back Rasul Faison went to South Carolina. Herschel Turner went to Nevada. Wide receiver Jalen Royals is on the Chiefs. Kyrese Rowan is on the Broncos. Jack Costero went to Colorado. Grant Page went to Southern Miss. Tight end Otto Tia went to Utah. Edge rusher Cyan Sloan went to North Carolina State. Linebacker John Ross May is gone. Corner Jaden Francois went to Duke. DJ Graham II went to Kansas. Safety Jordan Vincent is gone. Kicker Tanner Cragen went to UTEP. Bears, big opportunity going into half to half this lead. First and goal. Is that first and goal from the Chiefs? How does that happen? I don't know. First and goal at the 3-yard line, 31 seconds to go. Bears got a big shot here. And Caleb Williams ended up having a decent stat line. He's still in the game, actually. The starters are still playing. 10 of 14, 110 there. Still can't run the ball. DeAndre Swift, 7 carries, 28 yards there. Not very much returning for Utah State. Quarterback Bryson Barnes, off the tackle Trey Anderson, guard George Maley, guard Tavo Matu Apuaka, linebacker John Miller, safety Ike Larson. I love Ike Larson. He's a beast in the back end. They redid their whole roster under new head coach Bronco Mendenhall coming in from New Mexico. Quarterback Anthony Garcia comes in from Arizona. Running back Javen Jacobs from New Mexico. Miles Davis from BYU. Big BYU New Mexico transfer style here. Wide receiver Corey Thompson Jr. from UNLV. Demick Starling from Western Kentucky. Brady Boyd from Texas Tech. Carlos Gillespie from Illinois. Braden Pagan from UCLA. Off tackle Jake Eichhorn from BYU. Center Jimmy Liston from Purdue. Center Kamuta Lavesa from Cerritos College. Interior defensive lineman Tyree Morris from Lafayette. Interior D-line Naki Fahina from New Mexico State. Edge rusher John Gayer from College of San Mateo. Edge Nuula Leitao Celesin from BYU. Linebackers Tymir Burton, East Mississippi Community College. Matira Brown, Snow College. Corners Noah Avinger. Bryson Taylor, Bobby Arnold, all from New Mexico. Corner Dylan Tucker from Elon. Safeties Brevin Hamlin, Utah Tech. DeAndre Barnes from Nebraska. Chika Ebunoa, BYU. Punter Landon Recal from BYU. And kicker Carter Brown from Cincinnati. Big time for Chicago. The Bears have scored a touchdown. We'll see who it is in a second. Caleb Williams, 3-yard touchdown to Roma Dunze. 28 seconds ago in the half. So, with all those transfers said for Utah State, let's look at the schedule here. Home against UTEP, week 1, win. At number 19, Texas A&M, they lose that one. I think they can beat Air Force. They can beat McNeese State. At Vanderbilt, they lose week 6 bye. At Hawaii, you're going to have them lose that one on a Sunday. Home against San Jose State, they lose that one on a Friday. At New Mexico, loss by week 10. Home against Nevada, they win that one. They lose at UNLV, at Fresno State. And they lose at home against number 25 Boise State on Black Friday. I think they might be better than this, but 4-8 for me. repeat of last year's record. And I have them going, let's see, 2-2 in non-conference. So it's a 2-6 conference record. New Mexico. Just talked to John about the record, but here's what happened in the offseason. They lost head coach Bronco Mendenhall to Utah State. Quarterback Devin Dampier went to Utah. Running back Eli Sanders went to USC. Running back Nicorey Rogers to Utah. Wide receivers Luke Wysong to Arizona. Ryan Davis to Utah. Caleb Medford to Kansas State. Nick Trujillo went to UL Monroe. Tight end Trace Bruckler went to Ole Miss. Edge rusher Moso Oipala Tui Tele went to Colorado State. Linebacker Jaden Wilson went to UTEP. Corner Noah Avinger went to Utah State. Nigel Williams to Louisville. Bryson Taylor to Utah State. And Noah Pola Gates is gone. Returning for the Lobos. Offensive tackle Tevin Shaw. Guard Richard Pierce. Center Malik Aliane. Linebacker Randolph Kapai and Dimitri Johnson. Punter Charles Steinkamp. And kicker Luke Derzuski. Derzewicki. I don't know how to say that. John needs to tell me how to say that one. But a lot of transfers. Huge transfer class. With the new head coach Jason Eck coming in from Idaho, he brought with him quarterback Jack Lane, who is his starter. Running back Scott Trey Humphrey goes into Montana State. I believe he was the freshman of the year in the FCS last year or something like that. At least the Ohio or Missouri Valley Football Conference freshman of the year. Wide receiver Keegan Johnson from Kansas State. Isaiah Blair from Cerritos College. Tight ends Dorian Thomas from Arizona. Marcus Vincent from UTEP. Offensive tackle Tyler Lawrence from Air Force. Guard Israel Mukwiza from Mercer. Neville Brown from Alabama A&M. Mason Jones from Bucknell. Interior defensive lineman Brian Booker from Texas Southern. RJ Adams from NCA&T. Gray Smith from Fort Lewis College. Edge rushers Keyshawn James Newby from Idaho. Darren Agu from Vanderbilt. Xavier Slayton from Idaho. Linebackers Kaiwan McCray from Jacksonville State and Coach Eck's son Jackson Eck from Idaho. Corners John Johnson from Montana State. Jaden Sheridan from Utah Tech. Albert Nunez from Northern Iowa. Abraham Williams, Idaho. Azariah Levels from Stephen F. Austin. Caleb Coleman from Texas State. Safeties Austin Brawley from Ohio. Clint Stevens from UCLA. Touchdown Vikings. They are now within 7 here of the Titans. Max Brosmer, 21-yard touchdown pass to tight end Bryson Nesbitt. So 10-17 there for Tennessee. 3-9, like I mentioned, for the Lobos, and it is a 1-3, or actually, it's better than that. I'm gonna have them win against at Air Force, lose against San Diego State on Black Friday. So it's actually turns out better. 4-8 here for New Mexico, and the non-conference slate is 2-2. So they're going to go 2-6 in conference. All right. Let's go to Fresno State. The Bulldogs, 6-7 last year, 4-3 in conference. Losses, quarterback Mikey Keene went to Michigan. Running back Malik Sherrod to Boise State. Wide receivers, Mac Delana is on the Chiefs. Jalen Moss went to Arizona State. Raylan Sharp went to Arkansas. Tua CV Nomura is on the Panthers, the linebacker there. Linebacker Malachi Langley is gone. Linebacker Phoenix Jackson went to Baylor. Corner Cam Lockridge is on the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the CFL. Julia Neal went to Arkansas. Safety Dean Clark is on the Jets. Score update here. Dallas Cowboys, their first possession of the second half. They score a touchdown. It is Joe Milton, 29-yarder to Jalen Brooks. Key returners for the Bulldogs. Running backs Bryson Donaldson, Elijah Gilliam. Tight end Richie Anderson the third. Off tackle Roland Fullwood. Guards Edward Fonua, Campbell McHarg. Center Jacob Spomer. Edge rusher Corey Foreman. Corner Alzillian Hamilton. Safety Jaden Davis. Kicker Dylan Lynch. Transfers. New head coach Matt Entz. Former North Dakota State head coach 2023. I believe he was with Indiana last year or the like. Quarterback E.J. Warner comes in from Rice. Quarterback Carson Conklin from Sacramento State. Running back Rayshawn Luke from Arizona. Wide receivers Ezekiel Abbott from Maryland. Jayon Farrar from Ventura College. Jaleel McClain from Louisville. Freshman off the tackle Braden Walton. Off the tackle Braylon Henderson from Snow College. Interior defense lineman Martin Owusu from Minnesota. Michael Jordan Jr. from Northern Colorado. Edge rusher Finn Claypool from Drake. Linebacker Jaden Pearson from Utah State. Kavion Thunderbird from Arizona State. Corner Simeon Harris from Utah State. Andre Cobb from Northern Illinois. Safety Ethan Tierney from Northern Illinois. Schedule here for the Bulldogs. At Kansas, week 0, they lose that one. I'm going to have them lose against Georgia Southern as well. They're going to lose at Oregon State. Win against Southern. Lose at Hawaii on a Sunday. Week 5 bye. Win against Nevada. Lose at Colorado State on a Friday. Week 8 bye. Upset San Diego State. Lose at number 25 Boise State. Week 11 bye. Win against Wyoming. Lose against Utah State. Lose at San Jose State. It's a 4-8 record for me for the Bulldogs here. 1-3 non-conference. That's a 3-5 in conference. For me, Eagles kicked another field goal, by the way. They're up 19-3. Colorado State, the Rams, 8-5, 6-1 in conference last year. They were right there for the Mountain West Championship. Did not make it on technicality. Running back Avery Morrow is on the Giants. Wide receiver Caleb Goody went to Cincinnati. Wide receiver Jamari Person went to Liberty. Wide receiver Torrey Horton drafted by the Seahawks. Wide receiver Dane Olson is gone. Edge rusher Gabe Kershke went to Wake Forest. Linebacker Bloom Jock went to Cal. Chase Wilson went to West Virginia. Corners Dom Jones, Dominic Morris, Elias Larry, safety Jack Howell, Henry Blackburn, and kicker Jordan Noyes all gone for the Rams. Returning, though, big-time quarterback Braden Fowler Nicolosi, running backs Justin Marshall, Jalen Dupree, wide receiver Armani Winfield, off the tackle Aaron Karras, center Trevin Heel, and corner Aiden Hector. Pretty big transfer class for Colorado State here. Quarterback Taj Bullock comes in from Akron. Running back Lloyd Avant from Tulsa. Wide receivers Tay Lanier from Northern Arizona. Kojo Antwi from Ohio State. P.D. Tucker from Georgia State. Tight end Rocky Beers from FIU. Off the tackle Liam Wortman from Central Missouri. Guard Tristan Holmbeck from Dartmouth. Interior defensive lineman Gabe Jones from Mexico State. Denias Jackson from Kentucky. Edge rushers Paul Tangelo from St. Francis. Jaquez Evans from Baylor. Linebacker Jacob Ellis from Iowa State. Robert Edmondson from Prairie View A&M. Corners Jahari Rogers from SMU. CJ Blocker from Utah. Lamondre Joe from Missouri State. Safety Jake Jarmalowicz from Holy Cross. Kicker is Isaiah Hankins from Baylor. Tough one. Week 1, they lose at Washington. They win against Northern Colorado. Week 3 bye here for CSU. They're going to win against UTSA, win against Washington State. At San Diego State, I'm going to lose that one. They're going to win against Fresno State on Friday, win against Hawaii, win at Wyoming week 9, week 10 bye, lose against UNLV. I'm going to have them get shocked at New Mexico, lose at number 25 Boise State, but they're going to win against Air Force on Black Friday. So it's a 7-5 record for me for CSU, and it is a 3-1 non-conference schedule. So it's going to be a 4 and 4 conference record. UNLV, the Rebels, 11-3 last year, 6-1. They lost a ton. Head coach Barry Odom went to Purdue. Quarterback Hajj Malik Williams is on the Raiders. Matthew Saluka went to James Madison. Running backs Kylan James is gone. Greg Burrell went to Texas State. Wide receivers Ricky White III went to the Seahawks. Jacob DeJesus went to Cal. Casey Kane went to Liberty. Tight end Kaleo Balungai is gone. Edge rusher Fisher K-Mac went to Virginia. Antonio Doyle Jr. is gone. Linebacker Jackson Woodard is on the Seahawks. Manny Powell went to Purdue. Corners Jet Elad went to Rutgers. Jonathan Baldwin is on the Packers. Tony Grimes went to Purdue. Cameron Oliver, safety Jalen is gone. Safety Jalen Catalan went to Missouri. Kicker Caden Chittenden went to USC. Barely any returning for the Rebels. Running back Jaden Thomas, wide receiver Jaden Bradley, offensive tackle Austin Boyd, and punter Connor Melzer. That is it. That's all the production that returns. But they got a massive transfer class under new head coach Dan Mullen, former Florida head coach in 2021. Quarterback Alex Orji from Michigan. Anthony Calandria from Virginia. Running back Jalen Glover from Utah. Wide receivers Troy O'Mare, Arizona State. JoJo Early from TCU. Coy Moore from Western Kentucky. Dejon Reynolds from Pitt. Tight ends Varquise Gums from Arkansas. Nick Elksness, South Carolina. Offensive tackle James Faminu from Temple. Guards Malik McGowan from UNC. Donovan Manson from Coastal Carolina. Alani Makihele from UCLA. Center Reed Williams from Chattanooga. Interior defensive lineman Jalen Lee from LSU. Cohen Fuller from Coastal Carolina. Edge rushers Tunmise Adalai from Texas State. Chief Border from Pitt. Corey Hall from Northern Arizona. Linebackers Bryce Edmondson from Memphis. Emeka Megwa from Oklahoma. Kamuela Ka'aihu, Arizona. Corners Denver Harris from UTSA. LaTerrence Welch from Arizona State. Amaris Brown from USF. Mumu bin Wahad from UConn. Andrew Paldrell from Montana State. Safeties Jaheim Joseph from West Virginia. Jake Pope from Georgia. And kicker Caden Costa from Memphis. So massive class there. Schedule. They win against Idaho State week 0. I think they can win at Sam Houston on a Friday, lose against UCLA week 3 bye. I'm actually going to have them lose at Miami, Ohio. That's a tough non-conference game. Week 5 bye, though. Second one. At Wyoming, they win that one. They win against Air Force, lose at number 25 Boise State, week 9 bye. They're going to win against New Mexico, lose at Colorado State, win against Utah State, win against Hawaii, win at Nevada. So it is a really good year for Dan Mullen. It's an 8-4 record for me for the Rebels. And non-conference, it's going to be 2-2. So that's a 6-2 conference record. Really, really solid for Coach Mullen there. And finally, the Boise State Broncos, 12-2 last year, 7-0 in conference. You're reigning Mountain West Conference champs. Losses, running back Ashton Genty, 6th overall pick to the Raiders. Wide receiver Cam Camper is on the Jags. Wide receiver Prince Strachan went to USC. Wide receiver Austin Bolt got dismissed after some legal issues. Linebacker Andrew Simpson went to UNC. Safety Sei Oladipo is on the Dolphins. Safety Alexander Tubner is on the Ravens. Kicker Jonah Dalmas is gone as well. And the Jets have just scored a touchdown. Can't see who that is, number 38. Returning, though, I think Boise State set up pretty solid. Quarterback Maddox Madsen. Running back Sire Gaines. Wide receiver Latrell Caples. Tight end Matt Lauder. Offensive tackles Cage Casey. Hall Schmidt. Guards Tyler Kenneth. Roger Carrion. Center Mason Randolph. Interior defensive lineman Braxton Feely. Edge rusher Jaden Virgin Morgan. Linebacker Marco Notarani. Corners of Marion McCoy and Jeremiah Earby. Safeties Ty Benefield and Zion Washington. Decent transfer class here. Running back Malik Sherrod from Fresno State. Offensive tackle Miles Walker from Ohio State. Interior defensive lineman Deion Washington from Hawaii. David Latu from BYU. Keanu Miloto from Arizona. Edge rusher Sterling Lane II from Arizona. Corners Jaden Mickey from Notre Dame. Demetrius Freeney from Arizona. Samuel Brooks from Dodge City Community College. Safety Derek Ganter Jr. from Eastern Washington. Punter Oscar Doyle from Weber State. Kicker Colton Boomer from UCF. Jets just got the 2-point conversion. They're down 8, making it a game in the fourth quarter. 19-11 here for Philly. Schedule for Boise State at USF on a Thursday. They win that one. They win against Eastern Washington on a Friday. Week 3 bye at Air Force. They win. They win against App State. Lose at number 6 Notre Dame. They win against New Mexico. Win against UNLV. Win at Nevada on Friday. Win against Fresno State. Malik Sherrod revenge game. He's going to run wild. Week 11 bye at San Diego State. They win. They win against Colorado State. Win at Utah State on a Friday. This is a good team, guys. 11-0, 8-0 in conference. 11-1, 8-0 in conference, I should say. So the Boise State Broncos are my pick to repeat as Mountain West champs. They're always in it. And I think they're going to be really, really good once again. They reloaded. The wide receivers are a little bit young now, but I think they're going to be okay with Maddox Madsen at the helm there and Malik Sherrod running the ball. That defense should be very good as well. So that is the show for today. Again, sorry for technical difficulties in the beginning, but don't forget to follow us on all our social media at FAA Podcast, Instagram and X, FAA_bets on X as well. FAApodcast.com is our website. Check us out here on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. And Monday, we will be talking SEC. It just means more. Next Friday, college football week 1. Get you all your game recaps from the Thursday night week 1 games, as well as the Sun Belt season preview, final college football conference preview before week 1. Thank you all for watching. We'll see y'all back on Monday.